misty hills of ancient China, where cherry blossoms bloomed, a heartbreaking tale of love emerged, enchanting the hearts of countless generations. It was a story that echoed through the ages, a tale blending the human heart with the harsh reality of the world and family expectations. Continuing with the four great folktales of China, the Butterfly Lovers, also known as the tale of Liang Shanbo and Zhu Yingtai, and the Chinese Romeo and Juliet, is the third episode in this series. It is a story about how love and sorrow transcended societal constraints, creating a legend rich in devotion, sacrifice, and most importantly, love. Note: details of this story may differ from other retellings, since there are many different variations for this story. Now let us begin. Welcome to the legend known far and wide as the story of Liang Shanbo and Zhu Yingtai, the Butterfly Lovers. During China's Jin dynasty, there was a prosperous town called Shangyu, where a young woman named Zhu Yingtai was born into a wealthy family. Yingtai was not like other girls. From a young age, she showed an insatiable curiosity and a keen mind, always asking questions and seeking knowledge. But in her society, girls were expected to stay at home, learn domestic skills, and prepare for marriage. Education was a privilege reserved for boys. Yingtai's parents, though loving, adhered to these traditional norms. They expected her to follow the path laid out for women of her status. However, Yingtai had different plans. Her longing for knowledge and adventure was too strong to be suppressed. She often dreamed of attending school, engaging in scholarly debates, and exploring the world beyond her home. One day, she approached her father with a daring proposition. "Father, please allow me to go to Hangzhou to study," she pleaded. Her father was taken aback. "Yingtai, you know that is impossible. Schools are for boys, not girls." But Yingtai was determined. She spent days convincing her father, highlighting her passion for learning and her willingness to do whatever it took. Finally, her father relented, though with great reluctance. "Very well," he said, "but you must go in disguise as a boy. You must cut your hair and wear men's clothes. No one must know your true identity." Yingtai agreed. She cut her long hair, donned male attire, and transformed herself into a convincing young scholar. With a heart full of excitement and a touch of apprehension, she set off for Hangzhou, eager to embrace her new life. Arriving in Hangzhou, Yingtai enrolled in a renowned academy under the guise of a young man. Her disguise was perfect, and no one suspected her true identity. On her first day, she met Liang Shanbo, a kind and diligent student. Shanbo, like Yingtai, was passionate about his studies and possessed a gentle and friendly nature. The two quickly struck up a friendship. They shared a dormitory, attended classes together, and spent long hours discussing literature, philosophy, and the mysteries of the natural world. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Although the two both excelled in their studies, Shanbo was still a bookworm and failed to notice the feminine characteristics exhibited by Yingtai. Nevertheless, Shanbo admired his new friend's intelligence and dedication, while Yingtai found herself drawn to Shanbo's kindness and integrity. Shanbo treated Yingtai as a brother, completely unaware of her true identity. He was always there to support and encourage her, and they became inseparable. Yingtai, on the other hand, struggled with her growing feelings for Shanbo. She knew that revealing her true self could jeopardize their friendship and her entire plan. Despite the inner turmoil, she cherished every moment they spent together. Their time in Hangzhou was filled with joy and discovery. They studied hard, laughed together, and formed memories that would last a lifetime. They often took long walks by the West Lake, discussing their dreams and ambitions. Shanbo dreamed of becoming a respected scholar, while Yingtai's dreams were more complex, entangled with her feelings for Shanbo. As the months turned into years, Yingtai's love for Shanbo deepened. She often hinted at her true feelings, but Shanbo remained oblivious. He saw her only as his best friend and confidant. Yingtai hoped that one day she could reveal her true self and that Shanbo would accept her as she was. But for now, she cherished their friendship, treasuring each moment they spent together. Their bond was something special, a connection that transcended the ordinary. Yingtai's heart ached with love, but she knew that their time together in Hangzhou was limited. One day, she would have to return to her family and her true identity, and she dreaded the moment when she would have to leave Shanbo behind. 3 years passed in what seemed like the blink of an eye. Zhu Yingtai and Liang Shanbo had grown even closer, their bond stronger than ever. But as the seasons changed, so did the course of Yingtai's life. One day a letter arrived from her father, summoning her back home. The letter was brief but firm, reminding Yingtai of her duty to her family and the life that awaited her back in Shangyu. Yingtai's heart sank. She knew that her time with Shanbo was coming to an end. The thought of leaving him, without ever revealing her true self, filled her with sorrow. She dreaded the moment she would have to say goodbye, but she also knew she could not defy her father's wishes. On the eve of her departure, Yingtai and Shanbo took one last walk by the West Lake. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the water. Yingtai struggled to find the right words, wanting to hint at her true feelings without revealing her secret outright. The next day, Shanbo accompanied Yingtai for 18 miles to see her off. During the journey, Yingtai hints to Shanbo many times that she is actually a woman. In one instance, she compared the two of them to a pair of mandarin ducks, which were a symbol of lovers in Chinese culture. But Shanbo does not catch her hints and does not even have the slightest suspicion that his companion is a woman in disguise. Yingtai finally comes up with an idea and tells Shanbo that she will act as a matchmaker for him and Yingtai's sister. "Shanbo," she said softly, "I have a sister back home. She is very much like me. I think you would like her. Why don't you come visit us and meet her?" Shanbo, completely unaware of Yingtai's true identity, smiled warmly. "I would love to meet your sister, Yingtai. When should I come?" "In a few months," Yingtai replied, her voice tinged with sadness. "Please promise me you will come." Shanbo noticed the melancholy in her eyes but didn't press further. He simply nodded, promising he would visit. They parted with heavy hearts, neither wanting to let go, but knowing they had no choice. As Yingtai continued her journey home, tears streamed down her face. She looked back at the city that had brought her so much joy and pain, silently hoping that Shanbo would understand her hidden message. Months passed, and Liang Shanbo could not stop thinking about Yingtai's sister. He decided to keep his promise and visit Yingtai's home in Shangyu. The journey was long and filled with anticipation. As he traveled, he began to recall subtle hints and moments that now seemed to suggest that Yingtai might have been hiding something. Upon reaching Shangyu, Shanbo was warmly received by Yingtai's family. However, Yingtai herself was not there to greet him. Instead, her maid led him to the family garden, where he found Yingtai dressed in women's clothing. Shanbo was stunned, the realization hitting him all at once. Yingtai's sister was Yingtai herself. "Yingtai, you are a woman?" Shanbo stammered, his voice filled with shock and wonder. Yingtai nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "Yes, Shanbo. I am sorry I deceived you, but I had no other choice. My love for learning was too strong, and it was the only way I could study alongside you." Shanbo's shock quickly turned to joy as he embraced Yingtai. "Yingtai, I understand now. My heart has always known, even if my mind did not. I love you, and nothing else matters." But their joy was short-lived. Yingtai's father had arranged for her to marry a local official by the name of Ma Wenkai. He was a wealthy man and an excellent suitor for Yingtai. When Yingtai's father learned of Shanbo's visit, he sternly reminded Yingtai of her duty to the family and her betrothal. Yingtai's heart broke at the thought of being separated from Shanbo again, this time forever. Shanbo pleaded with Yingtai's father, asking for his blessing to marry Yingtai instead, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. Bound by the customs and obligations of the time, Yingtai's father refused to break the engagement with Ma Wenkai. Despair settled over Yingtai and Shanbo, as they faced the harsh reality of their situation. The joy of their reunion was overshadowed by the impending separation, and their dreams of a life together seemed more impossible than ever. Overwhelmed by the cruel twist of fate, Liang Shanbo returned home, his heart shattered. The weight of losing Zhu Yingtai was too much for him to bear. His days were filled with sorrow, and his nights with restless dreams of the life they could never have. His once bright and hopeful spirit dimmed, and his health began to deteriorate rapidly. Friends and family watched helplessly as Shanbo's condition worsened. He no longer had the will to study, eat, or engage in any of the activities he once loved. The pain of losing Yingtai consumed him, leaving him a shadow of his former self. Despite their efforts to comfort him, nothing could ease his suffering. One fateful day, Liang Shanbo succumbed to his grief. His heart, broken by the loss of Yingtai, could no longer sustain him. News of his death spread quickly, reaching Zhu Yingtai and her family's home. The news was like a dagger to her heart. She felt as if the world had crumbled around her. The love of her life was gone, and she was left in a world of sorrow and despair. As the day of her forced wedding to Ma Wenkai approached, Yingtai's heart grew heavier. On the morning of the wedding, she adorned herself in her bridal attire, but her mind was elsewhere. With a desperate resolve, she made a bold decision. She could not marry Ma Wenkai. Her heart belonged to Shanbo, even in death. Just before the wedding ceremony began, Yingtai escaped. She fled her home, the sounds of celebration and music fading behind her. She rode swiftly to Shanbo's grave, her heart pounding with a mix of grief and determination. As she approached the grave, the reality of Shanbo's absence hit her like a wave. She fell to her knees, her tears mingling with the earth as she cried out his name. As Zhu Yingtai wept bitterly at Liang Shanbo's grave, a fierce storm began to brew. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and the wind howled through the trees. The ground beneath her trembled as if echoing her sorrow. The intensity of her grief seemed to awaken the forces of nature. Suddenly, the grave split open with a thunderous crack. Yingtai, driven by her overwhelming love and despair, leaped into the chasm without hesitation. She was determined to join Shanbo, even in death. As she fell, the storm reached its peak, lightning flashing and thunder roaring in the sky above. Miraculously, as soon as Yingtai disappeared into the grave, the storm began to calm. The dark clouds parted, and the wind died down. The earth closed up, and a profound silence fell over the scene. From the grave, two beautiful butterflies emerged, their wings shimmering in the now gentle sunlight. The butterflies danced together in the air, their movements graceful and serene. They fluttered around the grave, symbolizing the eternal union of Zhu Yingtai and Liang Shanbo. Freed from the constraints of the mortal world, their souls had found each other again, transformed and united forever. The sight of the two butterflies became a symbol of their undying love. Villagers who witnessed the transformation spread the story far and wide. The tale of Liang Shanbo and Zhu Yingtai, the butterfly lovers, became a timeless legend, reminding all who heard it of the power of true love and the lengths to which it could drive the human heart. The story of the butterfly lovers remains a poignant reminder of the beauty and tragedy of love, a tale that continues to inspire and touch the hearts of people around the world. The story of the butterfly lovers shares striking similarities with that of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Both tales center around young lovers whose relationship is thwarted by external forces. Their love is pure and intense, and they are willing to defy societal norms and family expectations to be together. In Romeo and Juliet, the lovers are from feuding families in Verona. Their secret love leads to a series of tragic events, culminating in their deaths. The story ends in sorrow, a poignant reminder of the destructive power of hatred and the fragility of young love. The Butterfly Lovers also features star-crossed lovers, but the focus is on Zhu Yingtai and Liang Shanbo's deep connection and enduring love. Despite societal constraints and family obligations, their love persists. The transformation into butterflies symbolizes their eternal union, a hopeful and transcendent conclusion that offers a stark contrast to the tragic end of Romeo and Juliet. These two iconic stories were celebrated together in the Sino-Italian Love Culture Festival. The festival honors the universal themes of love and sacrifice. It serves as a cultural bridge, bringing together the timeless narratives of Chinese and Western literature. During the festival, performances of both The Butterfly Lovers and Romeo and Juliet were staged. Chinese opera and ballet interpretations of Liang Shanbo and Yingtai's story captivate audiences with their beauty and emotional depth. Meanwhile, dramatic renditions of Romeo and Juliet showcase the intensity and tragedy of Shakespeare's classic. Workshops, lectures, and exhibitions explore the cultural context of these stories, highlighting their impact on literature and art. Couples and romantics from around the world gather to celebrate love in all its forms, drawing inspiration from the tales of these legendary lovers. The story of Liang Shanbo and Yingtai has been passed down through generations, a cherished symbol of true love and devotion. It transcends the boundaries of time and culture, resonating with audiences far and wide. The legend speaks to the heart's deepest desires and the lengths one will go for love. In their transformation into butterflies, Liang Shanbo and Yingtai found a freedom that eluded them in life. Their souls, united and free, serve as a powerful reminder that love is enduring and transformative. This timeless tale teaches us about the strength of love, the pain of loss, and the ultimate triumph of the human spirit. As the years go by, the story of the butterfly lovers continues to inspire. It is retold in books, plays, films, and songs, each adaptation bringing new life to the ancient legend. The lover's journey is a testament to the idea that love can conquer all obstacles, even those as formidable as death itself. The tale of Liang Shanbo and Yingtai remains a beacon of hope and inspiration. It invites us to believe in the power of love, to cherish the connections we hold dear, and to strive for a world where love is celebrated and revered. In this way, the story of the butterfly lovers will forever flutter in the hearts of those who hear it, a timeless dance of love and devotion. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. What did you think? Did I miss any details? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome to the channel. I hope I earned a like and subscription in your eyes. If not, that's okay. I'll keep making videos until I do earn it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate all the views, likes, subscriptions, and kind words and messages. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here today. That's it for now. I hope to see you all in the next one.